Yay, okay. We are restarting and hopefully people will find us. I know we lost about 10 of you, so hello everybody, welcome in. There's somebody in.
Yeah.
I know John said, technology is so much fun, right? Yay, we're back. Hi guys.
We got it to work finally.
Okay, we're just gonna give this a couple of minutes to get you guys in here. Hi, welcome back Chris and Gavin and John, I saw you. I think what Jim's doing is he's bringing up the chat and we are gonna watch. I can see the chat up here on the camera, which we're gonna try to actually look at it over here. Deborah, hi, we're back. And then we'll explain to you here in a second what's going on. Hello, Willow. Okay.
Sorry, we're getting a little organized here.
Hi, Jim. I actually kind of want to fix this too. So, this kind of last minute impromptu. Hi, Chris. And we're just gonna wait for a few more people to come in here today and we'll get started. We put out on Instagram and Facebook and also on YouTube questions from our subscribers, and we have quite a few to answer today, but we're also going to be monitoring the questions in the chat. So what my job today is I'm going to be watching the chat, looking at your questions, typing them in, and then we're both going to be responding to the questions or whatever you want to say actually. So this is going to get fun. So we're actually, before we get started, we're in a really cool spot and it's an absolutely beautiful day. The sun is shining, it's like 35 degrees and people are skiing all around us. So you might hear people skiing, some cars, and we are going to go skiing right afterwards because I cannot resist all of this new snow that we just got.
So overnight last night we got about 15 inches of snow, which is incredible. It's just beautiful, and then sunshine today, so a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, a little slow start to the morning today, but we're ready to get going. So this was Jim's idea to do this live, you guys, because we haven't been posting regularly, and yeah, a lot of work has been going into our videos. If you've been watching our videos, we've been putting a lot of work into them behind the scenes. So today we don't have a video for you and we decided let's just go live and chat with you.
Cross country, John.
Yeah, Sean, I gave up cross country probably about 15 years ago.
Downhill, you mean?
Yeah. Downhill. I never did downhill. Cross country, it's been a while.
Sunshine is swimming in Florida today. We're jealous. Well, it's sunshine here. You could swim in the snow.
We can.
Ember was swimming earlier.
Yeah, Ember's sleeping over there. And you guys, Jim just posted a picture over on Instagram of where we're at, out the back door, so it's really, really pretty. Wow, shall we get started?
We'll give it a few minutes.
Okay. So Ireland never gets just rain, rain, and more rain in Ireland. Memphis, 76 degrees.
Are you able to pull up just the comments?
I don't know. Can I do that? Let's see it over here. So right now we can see ourselves in like 3 different places, and it's a little bit distracting. Casper. Angela, hi. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. Mary, hi. Now I can kind of scroll through it and see it. I'm just going to look at it this way. This works. It's freaking raining.
Okay.
Okay,
That works.
that works. I'll just scroll through it this way.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, you guys can tell it's been a while since we've done this. How's the audio? Are we okay here? Can you hear us okay? Mr. James from Perth. I know. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to say your name, so that's why I used your Casper. It's like, I know. Good. Yeah, okay, it's good. I can.
Good
Okay,
audio?
Mike,
Good.
thanks. Audio is good. Good. 64 in San Jose, and Mary, you're good. Good. Great. Sometimes we have the audio issues. We have great connection. Awesome. Okay. So I compiled a list of all of the questions that were asked of us on Instagram and on Facebook and also on YouTube. And some of them were interesting, actually. But then, so what we're going to do today is go through the list of the questions that you asked us, and then afterwards we're going to go over the questions that you asked us in the chat. I know we haven't been posting regularly on YouTube, but we've been putting a lot of time and effort into the videos that we have been creating. It's been so much fun. The stuff we've been doing is just, it's been awesome.
So let's go with the first question.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, our favorites, Brad and Karen. Hi guys. This was from our Instagram page. Do we need another care package from Cajun Country?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. We're not going to say no to a care package from Cajun Country. Brad and Karen sent us this amazing package. Probably, gosh, it's been a while.
Well, so there was a story behind that. I was doing some Cajun cooking, right? And they saw our video and were like, hey, that's not Cajun enough. So then they sent us Tony's seasoning, which is what we've been using in a lot of our videos here lately.
Yes. I'm typing down the questions while you talk. Good one. So, go ahead.
All right. So that was the first question was, do we want a care package?
Okay, so
We always love care packages.
when we remember to check our mail. So Brian,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
true. John.
Yeah, John and Brian, but Brian has one in there too for us. So
But John's actually got sent all the way back to him.
yeah, John, sorry about that. So John sent us a package and it got sent all the way back, and then he sent it back to us. And yeah. So Man in Arabia, what did you use to heat the Duff tank when it froze that time? So I'm gonna let Jim get into the story about our frozen Duff tank when it was minus 40 below.
So we had this crazy idea about 3 years ago. It's almost exactly 3 years ago at this point, to head up to the Arctic Circle. We were completely stuck at the time, and our Duff froze. It was minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind was blowing like crazy. There was snow blowing everywhere. We could hardly see, but we were just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And suddenly we had this, okay, you only have 10 starts left in your van. We had no idea what happened. It was the first time we'd ever seen that. And
What's the 10 starts called?
it was 10 starts.
Limp mode, yeah.
Yeah, and then you go into limp mode. So if you go into limp mode, you're basically limited, 15 miles per hour? And we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we have this message pop up, and we're like, oh crap. So my thought was, we're just gonna keep going. We're almost to the Arctic Circle. We're only 50 miles? Mm-hmm. I think we have 50 miles left to go. And it was getting dark. There was nothing around us. We were completely alone. But Cynthia wasn't really a fan of that idea. So she convinced me, hey, pull over, try to figure this out. We pulled over. We were trying to figure it out. There was nothing wrong with the van visually. We had snow all up in the engine from the blowing snow. And so we decided to turn around because we only had 10 starts and we didn't want to waste our starts. So we never shut the engine off. We drove all the way back to Denali National Park, which was probably a good 300 miles, 400 miles, something like that, without turning off the engine. And then we stayed the night in Denali National Park. And during the winter time, if you go to Denali National Park, Riley Campground is actually free and completely wide open. They plowed everything, so it's a beautiful place to stay in the wintertime. And so we stayed there the night, and then we started continuing south. We got to Cantwell. It got to 0 Fahrenheit, and suddenly, boom.
Boom.
Yeah, it had defrosted itself. So what did we use to heat it? Nothing. The engine. Ultimately, the cold, just with the wind and the snow and the cold air in itself, it had just overtaken the actual thermometer or heating element that's inside the Duff tank.
Our Duff tank has a heating element inside of it, and it just was overworked.
Yep.
It just needed
It
to
just
warm
couldn't
up.
keep up. So it took a little bit of time for it to warm back up. We had no issues with it after that. We haven't had an issue to this day. We've been in just as cold temperatures, but we have added, when we added our new front bumper, it actually has a Duff tank skid plate on there, which protects the Duff tank even more and kind of encloses it a little bit. And I think maybe that's playing a difference in the temperatures that we're seeing now, but we haven't had a problem since then.
Nope. If you're wondering what the acronym that we're using, or it's
Diesel exhaust fluid.
there you go. So talking about all this DEF, diesels have DEF, and I think it's -12. It starts to get a little tricky with that. So the answer to that, the short answer to that, you guys, is we had a problem with it one time, and we have not had a problem with it since. So, okay, this is a good one. Mama Dama. So this one I don't know if it's a good one because I'm not sure if we can answer it. A low profile air conditioner that also removes humidity. They're going into a Mercedes 4-wheel drive 170 Sprinter and wants recommendations for an air conditioner. It's hard for us to give you recommendations on air conditioners.
So originally we had thought about removing our air conditioner altogether and just having 2 max air fans. But we held on to it for some reason. And in the end, it has paid off for itself that we didn't get rid of it.
Right.
So our air conditioner, we have a Coleman air conditioner. It worked perfectly while we were down in the south, but we added the Roam Rig lithium power system, which allowed us to run that AC or air conditioning for 8 hours at a time. And overnight, cooling it off in 100-degree temperatures, it did everything that we needed it to. But if anyone out there has any recommendations on air conditioners, if you can take a look at our Instagram page, I think that's where that one was posted.
Yeah.
They're looking for recommendations. I think in a 170, it would take even more than what we have. We're in a 144, so 170, you might want 2 air conditioners or something super powerful. But ours worked really well for us this past summer.
Yeah, it did. We talked about the low profile one, and we considered the low profile air conditioner for this van. I know one of our friends, Talon Sai, I think he got his, but we don't use it enough for it really to be a problem, I guess you could say. Or,
Yeah, ours has done everything we need it to, so
yeah.
we've had no issues. But we also have a very large power bank to make that happen.
Okay, Denny Meyer. I want to add owl van accessories, but I don't know where to get them installed. And I'm wondering if an experienced mechanic could install them locally if I just ordered them, and which ones would you rate as the most important to get first? So owl van accessories, if you're wondering, if you're just tuning into us, it's our box on the back, it's our tire carrier, and they also came out with a super cool ladder. So I'll let you talk about the accessories.
So talk about owl vans or any accessory in general, really. It depends on what they're working on. Like our bumpers, because we have so many sensors inside those bumpers, we had our bumpers installed by a Mercedes mechanic. As far as everything else, like the exterior stuff, the boxes and the tire carrier, that could all be done by any mechanic. We had it done at Owl just because we were down there. It saved us on shipping. We were able to do it while we were doing our 6-month trip in the South. And we love both of those items. The tire carrier is definitely necessary for us because we have oversized tires, so our tire would not fit in our spare tire holder underneath the van anymore. So that's why we ended up getting the tire carrier on the back. And then once we had that on the back, then we added the box because we were adding that extra couple inches of length anyways. And so we're happy with both of those. Like she mentioned, the Owl Van's ladder that just came out, that looks pretty cool. One of the things that we do want to do that we'll probably have to go back to California to do is expand our fuel tank. They have an awesome fuel tank enlarger. I don't know how to.
A bigger fuel tank.
Yeah, auxiliary fuel tank.
Yeah.
So we do want to get that added. We didn't have the funds when we were down there at the time. So we'll have to do it on our next trip to the South.
I've seen some great questions. I'm so sorry, I'm getting distracted. Go ahead.
I don't know what the next question
I
is.
know. Go ahead, but you can't see it. Okay, you guys, keep asking them in the chat. We're asking the ones that we had on social media, and then we're going to turn around and answer the ones that we're getting in the chat, which are actually they're really good. Somebody would freeze their, what's off at -40. Yeah, you do.
Once it gets so cold, it's only
Everything's frozen. It's frozen.
it's all frozen,
Frozen
so
is frozen.
it doesn't really matter anymore.
Okay, I really like the questions that you're asking us in the chat, so keep asking us those questions, okay? This one is from Jay Amos. What are you doing to help promote the vehicle-based travel community in Alaska? And how does that community differ from the lower 48? Jay, I would say that we promote it by just going out and doing it and living it and not really caring about what type of vehicle you have, as long as you get out and you have fun, whether you're in a van or a motorhome or a truck with a tent on top. What we're doing is just going out and having the experience, and through the experience, I guess that's how we are sort of promoting it or supporting it, is showing just how freaking amazing it is to be out here and do what we're doing right now. Also, what was the second part? How does it differ from the lower 48? I would say we have a tighter community up here, but less people up here to be a part of that community. But it is a very tight community, and it doesn't really matter what you have up here, as long as you have something that will take you out and have fun. So it's whatever makes you comfortable, really, and what makes us prepared for extreme weather, and that's a good heater, good insulation, all the upgrades that we've done. So
We put a lot of effort and energy to make this a very comfortable place for us, and we are very comfortable inside here.
right. So I guess in terms to answer that question, we just think it really doesn't matter what you're in, just get out and do it. Okay.
The next one, Amy asked Northern Lights.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Amy asked, what are your best tips for Northern Lights viewing, time of year, and places in Alaska? So ultimately you're looking at anywhere from late August to early May. That's when you have the most darkness. If you go much earlier than that, of course, up here in June, July, and early August, then there basically is no sunset. It's just daylight constantly.
Sorry about that, Chris. He's telling us there's a little sun glare. Okay.
Might have to close one door.
Yeah. I'll take care of that.
Hold on one second, we're adjusting the lighting.
That takes two? It don't take two people to adjust the lighting. You keep talking.
So best places to see the northern lights really is just going to depend, because it all depends on the solar flares and how the bursts come out of the sun. And it could be, you could see them more often typically up north, like up by Fairbanks, but we've seen them all over the state. So it just completely varies, and it's just timing. The worst part about it is you might have a good solar flare one period of time, but then you have clouds, or you have snow, or you have the full moon, and all of those things are things that we compete with when we're out there trying to capture the northern lights. So we don't do it all the time, because that would be really, really boring, just chasing northern lights. But we do it as much or as often as we can.
Boring.
It does get boring.
It does, it does. And plus you have to stay up. Sometimes you have to stay up really late in order to see them, and
I can never stay up that late.
have not
It's
been able
usually her.
yeah, I don't sleep. Okay, now we're gonna get to the personal questions. Well, not too personal.
The questions from chat.
Yep. Here we go. Hi, Denise. Hi, Dee. How do we keep the love alive? Well, I'm going to write that one down here. How do we keep our love alive? We're going to get to that one. Okay, you take this one.
We say
What is the
yes,
price?
dear.
What is the price of gas here?
So the price of gas here, I just posted it this morning over on Instagram.
That's how we keep our love alive. I just tell them what to do all the time. That's how it works. But we'll get to that one.
So I posted it on Instagram this morning. It was $4.61 a gallon, which yesterday it was like $4.50. So it jumped almost 10 cents in a day. It's crazy.
Yeah. Plans for where we're going this summer. Actually, that one I think I want to put to the very end, you guys, because we have actually really big plans for this summer, and some of you know about it, some of you don't. We were actually going to start out this live with oh my gosh, we have all this amazing news for you and all these, you know, fun plans coming up, and then that didn't happen. We had technical difficulties.
The right words, yes, dear.
Yes, dear. So plans for the summer, we will get to those. Now, this one is 100% Jim. Maintenance cost, oil changes, what is it?
Maintenance cost really isn't that much. Our oil changes, we do maintenance according to the Mercedes schedule. So every 10,000 miles, we've had no problems sticking to that schedule. Basically, it's about $800 every 10,000 miles, right around there. We've had one significant issue. I guess this falls under other engine maintenance, but we actually broke a boot on one of our axles. In talking to the mechanic, what had happened is, because we spend so much time off-road, we ended up throwing rocks up underneath the van, and it actually hit that boot. And then once it hit the boot, it caused a rip in it, and then was throwing oil all over the place. So we did have to change out the axle, which cost us about $2,000, something like that. But that's the most significant cost that we've had so far, other than regular maintenance every 10,000 miles.
I'm paying
Or
attention.
20,000 miles. 20,000 miles. 20,000. Service A is 20,000. Service B is 40,000.
So what's the short answer? What's maintenance cost and oil changes? What do you think that is about per year?
For most people, I would say you should go at least once a year to get maintenance done. So $800 a year.
And then have we had any other issues?
Outside of the axle, no.
There you go. Hasn't been too bad. What's the next adventure, and are we doing okay? We'll tell you the next adventure. We are doing wonderful. We've just been so busy.
So obviously we were on a road trip for 6 months. We did a lot of upgrades to the van. We're working really hard right now to get that paid off, and that's sort of what we've been up to, is just really paying attention to work and rebuilding our savings.
Yeah. And we're doing great though. Yes. Any other questions about that? We'll get into that. Where is Ember? That's a good one. She is sound asleep in her little bed over there, and I'm going to show you around here. Well, maybe not that way.
We'll see.
We'll see. She's sound asleep. So I'll show you her in just a minute, actually. Well, when she wakes up.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh. How often do we travel out of Alaska? It depends. So as far as in the van, we just returned from a 6-month trip across the United States, and we did 33 states in those 6 months. I don't know. I think it'll be at least probably 2 summers, because we want to do the next 2 summers with what we're going to tell you about at the end of this. And after that, we'll probably, we're talking about heading south again.
Yes. We will not be staying in Alaska full time, if that's what you're asking. No. I wasn't really listening to your response to that, but that's okay.
But we do travel out of Alaska for other types of trips too. Do we believe in Bigfoot?
John.
We live in Bigfoot. So the name of the van is Kushtaka. Kushtaka is the Alaskan version of Bigfoot, so to speak.
That's not an answer. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Well, we haven't seen him in all of our travels in the middle of nowhere so far.
Yeah. I see it, I'll believe it. So how do we keep our love alive after being together for 24/7?
A whole lot of yes, dear.
That is a BS answer.
No, we do take our time apart where we're doing other things, where she's either outside or I'm outside. You know, she'll work from the back of the van, and I'll be outside that whole time. We just appreciate our time together. I don't know. I think
We rarely get annoyed with each other. That's the thing. We just really enjoy being together. Our presence together, being in each other's space. How do we keep our love alive? It kind of stays alive. I know that's kind of a cheesy answer, but
she's a pretty amazing person.
and he is too. We're just not gonna get all mushy like that. And yeah, we're good together, and I think that's just, we got lucky, I guess you could say.
We enjoy the same things. We enjoy watching the same things, or talking about the same things. So it just makes it easy.
Yeah, we have a really, really nice relationship, and we do get asked about that a lot, and we tend to keep it private. You know, there are parts of our lives that we keep private, and our relationship is definitely one of them. But we wouldn't be able to make this work if we had problems behind the scenes, I guess you could say. It just wouldn't be working. Good answer. Thanks, guys. Good answer. Is it starting to sound like pageant answers now? Any issues with the heater and did the battery upgrade have any impact with that? Issues with the heater? No. We had maintenance that we had to do on it, which is regular maintenance because we run our heater constantly. So of course it needs to be maintained. I wouldn't say that it was an issue.
No. One of the things that we really liked is when we had the S-bar moved to the underside of the van, we went straight to Rixon's. They gave us a how-to on how to do the maintenance ourselves, and that made a huge difference for us because now we could just simply pull that S-bar heater down, do our maintenance and get it back up and running. And basically you could figure you'll get probably close to 800 to 1,000 hours out of your heater, and maybe even more now because they've changed the little tube that's inside the S bars, so it's supposed to last longer. We'll see if it actually does. If it does, hey, kudos, we'll be happy as clams. But now that we know how to do it, it's a 2-hour process at most to pull it down, reconnect, or take it all apart, reconnect it, and put it back. So it's not a big deal.
Talon, hi. Hello, friend. Good to see you, Talon. We're just talking about S-bar heaters. You know a little bit about that, don't you, Talon?
Talon loves the S-bar.
Yeah. How you doing, bud? It's good to see you. And we hope to see you this summer, by the way. That's where we're actually getting ready to announce, Talon, so stick around, hun, okay? What was the last one? Catching any Iditarod events? We tried. Fun stuff. Yeah, so Talon has a video out as well about rebuilding his S-bar heater. We've all had, I wouldn't say what issues with them, but we have had to definitely do maintenance on them, and now we're experts on, well, he is, I'm not.
Well, if anybody comes up here and they need help rebuilding their S-bar, as long as you got the parts, we'll send Talon your way.
Okay, so yeah, Talon, you just got signed up for some good stuff right there. Catching any Iditarod events? We made the attempt. What?
So we did go down. We did a lot of the.
Let's explain what the Iditarod is.
Okay. So Ferrandi is basically the end of winter celebration per se up here in Alaska, and it leads into what happened today was the start of the Iditarod. So Ferrandi is that big celebration. They have a whole bunch of different events. We did not film everything that we did. We started to make a video out there, and then we just decided not to because we've done it in past years. Hasn't done that great for us, so we decided let's just enjoy it.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We lost a bunch of subscribers because we showed a fur auction. So we just decided, whatever. You guys weirdos out there. So anyway, do we come up with our own recipes for Jim's Instant Pot inspirations? And that is a yes. They're blended. Nothing is brand new ever, right? So sometimes we take a look at other ideas for recipes, and then we go to the store and we buy a bunch of crap. We throw it in the van, and if you've ever seen our walkthrough videos, you know that we just buy stuff and put it in here, and then he's like, let's just make this. We have meat, we have veggies, we have chicken stock, and we get a lot of crap for that too. Some of our subscribers are like, why did you boil your meat? Or what? You guys, it's a freaking Instant Pot. It's not, we're not like chefs here. We're just throwing stuff into Instant Pot and making it, and we only share them when they turn out good. So
we had some really crappy ones.
Really, really bad experiments. And maybe we should show the ones that turn out bad. But I just wouldn't want you to, take it seriously or anything. I don't know, that'd be kind of fun. We've had some really, he's made some mush before. So, yes.
You can actually overcook chicken so it becomes a liquid.
He knows this very well. So Jim has this thing where he doesn't want chicken that's undercooked. It's like actual fear is undercooked meat. So I tend to overcook everything. But with Instant Pot, it works out really well. But yes, we've been saying this for 1.5 years that we plan on doing a recipe book. It's up here. It's there. All of our recipes are over on Facebook, but it just hasn't happened yet. It will.
We're trying to, but we want to make it into not only recipes, but pictures and, the experience of being out and doing what we're doing. So that's kind of what we're building.
And they're saying that they want to see the bad ones too. Well, we took a little bit of a risk when we even showed Jim being a little tipsy when he was making one, but yeah.
Hey, that one actually
feedback,
turned out
good
really,
feedback.
really good though.
It was so good.
The drunker you are, the better the food is.
Deborah said she would purchase our recipe book, and that's the thing, you guys. We're not really in this. You got, and most everybody who's in here knows that we're not in here for the money in this. We enjoy people living vicariously through us. Those who don't have the ability to go cross country skiing or really see snow or do the things that we're doing. That's why we're here. We're constantly asking ourselves our why. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? It's not, to put out recipe books or to make money off of anything. We're here really just to share an experience with people. So that was my other pageantry answer. Okay, how are we doing on time here? What are some of the questions one should ask on picking up a van? Oh, that's a good one, Brad. First of all, we get this asked a lot. We get asked this a lot. You want to make sure that, let me go back. We see a lot of people who fall in love with a vehicle online. They watch videos, they look at pictures. The Ford Bronco is actually a really good example of that, but we'll talk about that later, some other time. And they've never seen it in actual person, and they've fallen in love with it, and they go and they put money down on it, and they order it, and they buy it, and they're like, you know what, I really don't like this. And it's happened a lot with the Revel. So our biggest advice to you would be, if step inside the Sprinter, step inside what you're interested in, see what you like, different options, add a little variety in your life, a little spice.
I think a lot of people often ask us to compare our thoughts on a Storyteller or the Revel, and we actually stepped foot in the Revel first. That was like we did a whole bunch of different van tours. We walked through each and every single one of them, and the Revel just captured us. But we hadn't gone through a Storyteller yet at that point. When we did go through a Storyteller, it wasn't our cup of tea. We could see how it'd be great for a lot of people. The Revel just meets the needs of what we have. That's why we chose it. Really, you've got to figure out what it is that's important to you, make that list out, and then stick to your guns, because there's things out there that will check every single one of those boxes off of your list. And there's other ones that you're going to walk into and you're going to be like, oh no, this will not work for me. So that's an important piece of advice, is make sure that you know what you want going into it. Because these, whether you do a custom build or you buy a Revel or a Storyteller or something else, or an RV, a bigger unit, these are not cheap. And, especially when you start adding upgrades after upgrades after upgrades, it just starts to add up even more.
So Talon has a Storyteller, which, you guys, if you don't know what a Storyteller is, it's another Sprinter that's been built out. We never saw one actually before, but he's got one sitting in his driveway next to the Revel, so I can already assume what's coming next, dear. Is the Storyteller better than the Revel? We need that to happen, Talon. The other advice was to rent one. Yes, that's really good advice. And then the other is 4x4, whether or not you find that to be necessary, whether four-wheel drive is necessary in your travels. We've absolutely found it necessary,
yes.
But yeah. What was the other part of that question?
But it's also dependent on how you travel and where you travel. For the things that we like to do, the places we like to go, the places we like to see, we do need four-wheel drive. If we didn't have four-wheel drive and we didn't have an aftermarket suspension and aftermarket tires, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing.
Yeah, you just have to check what you want to do and then go from there. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to... That's just a loaner. There'll be a comparison shoot soon. Good to hear that. We need one from, this side perspective, so.
And Talon has a ton of experience in the Revel, so if he throws out that comparison video, you know that that's going to be pretty straightforward out there.
Yeah. And Talon, this should be your shirt, not whatever this is, Come on, Talon. So, what about the cabin?
Do you still have that? Do you live in a van at the cabin? So the cabin is a long story, and we're seeing how things are going to work out with some specific details. So
That was so vague. There's some
It
stuff
is
going on
very-
behind
yeah.
the scenes out there, so.
it is very vague, but it has. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna play out.
Bring one this summer. He's gonna see us. So that's actually what we're leading into. And Talon, it's good to hear that you're actually considering coming to that, you guys, because we have announced it over on Facebook, and we've announced it where else?
On Instagram
Instagram.
and YouTube.
Have we? No, we're about to on YouTube. Oh, we did?
Well, in our community chat.
Okay. Well, he did. See, we don't talk. I'm just kidding.
So it's a community post.
And we are officially creating our first meetup here in Alaska. And it's going to happen this July from the 8th through the 11th. And we live in a town.
Sometimes by the river, sometimes by the ocean, sometimes by the lake, sometimes by the dump. It all depends.
And we have never had a van meetup before. We went to a rally in Durango, Colorado, and that's where we actually officially got to meet a lot of people from our community, and we just had a blast. And we're just feeling a little isolated up here. We know a lot of you guys want to come up here and spend time with us, and we learned that from the rally in Durango, Colorado. We had no clue until we went there. And then we all started talking about creating an event up here in Alaska, and so now we got the ball rolling on it. And so it's a beautiful location in south central Alaska. It's just outside of Seward. So Seward, Alaska. You will have the ability to like hike and fish if you want to go kayaking. There's also charters that you can take that we'll recommend. We will not be giving you the exact location or anybody the exact location until probably closer to the date because it's kind of super secret. It's special. It's a very special spot to us, and it has enough room for, right now we're looking at 60 to 100 people, you guys. That's how many
60
people.
to 100 vans.
Vans, yeah.
That's probably like almost 200 people.
200 people have confirmed that they will be coming up to Alaska this summer between July 8th and July 11th. And we have a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes with that as well. But we have a logo created that we're going to show you. You want an inside look at it?
You want a
guys?
sneak peek?
Sneak peek at our logo?
We can't post it yet because we haven't gotten absolute permission yet.
Yeah, we're waiting. Fingers crossed. You might actually be in here. We're waiting for permission from you to actually post this. So, you ready? Here's this.
I don't know if you can see that or not.
Well, it gave me the chance to fix my hair.
There you go. You should be able to see that.
Yeah. So, I think it's going to be a nice turnout, and it's going to be very. You guys know us well enough to know it's going to be laid back. It's just going to be dry camping, plenty of space, and let me see. There's cabins out there too if you
Want to go rent a cabin?
or yeah.
You know the dates, so
Yeah. So July 8th through July 11th, and that is a 3-day meetup, and it's in this big,
4-day.
gorgeous spot. And then from there, whoever wants to feel a little bit more adventurous and go with us up to the Dalton Highway up to Prudhoe Bay, we are spending 2 weeks to do that. And we've done it several times before, so we have experience doing this. It's not the first time we'd be taking anybody up there. And we want this to be a yearly reoccurrence where we sort of do an expedition up the Dalton Highway. And we have an itinerary of where to stop along the way, what you need to bring, and we're all there together, so if anything goes wrong, we have each other too. So it's just, I know so many people want to do it. It's on your bucket list to do, and we're just like, hey, let's just go. Let's just do it together.
Mm-hmm.
So
That way you don't have to be worried about it at all.
yeah, you'll have us.
And you'll have Talon to fix your van.
Yeah. Tahoe will make everything better. So that is sort of that is the big announcement, is that this meetup is finally happening. We've been talking about it for about since last summer, so we're actually making it happen. I don't know about that. So Oh, okay. So anyway, this expedition, I forgot to tell you guys. We'll go up to Prudhoe Bay, and then we won't spend a whole lot of time up there, really, in Prudhoe.
Maybe a couple, well, just south of Prudhoe, we'll spend a couple days. That way, the people that want to spend time up there, they can. Give you a couple days to do what you want, and then from there we'll head back. But you'll understand it all. We have an itinerary laid out. We just don't want to post everything, because then guess what? Everyone's gonna snag it. So we know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep a little bit on the down low. But it does end up at Santa Claus House in North Pole, and I know that's on a lot of people's bucket list too. So if this year will go well, I'm not gonna say if this year goes well, it will go well. I have no doubt. And then we're gonna do it again the year after, and the year after. It's just gonna be great. So there's no real sign up for it yet. If you're interested in it, I think we posted an event on Facebook, but we haven't really created anything official on that yet.
Yeah, the only thing that we'll be asking for, typically we'll just have you show up because it's a free event. We just want you to be there. The only thing that we're going to ask is we're going to do another post here shortly once our logo gets approved, and then that's going to be, hey, who wants shirts? That way we can put together a bulk order, and typically when we do bulk items, we could get it for a lot cheaper, and then share the price with you. So. Oh,
the event's free though. We forgot to tell you that. There's no charge for this. It's just come and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
BYOB.
BYOB and food.
Yeah, it says, will Jim be cooking?
I will be cooking while we're there,
yeah.
But I don't know how many people are going to be able to eat out of a 3-quart Instant Pot.
We're going to have to get a bigger Instant Pot. Deborah, awesome, looks awesome. And then David's family is in North Pole. Awesome, David, I grew up there. Bucket list to go up to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Deb, make it happen with us. Once you get your, I don't know if you're leaning towards the Storyteller or the Revel anymore, but yeah, let's.
Or the Echo.
Oh yeah, it was the Echo. Which one are you at now? I'm actually surprised we're not getting questions about the Echo.
We really like the Echo.
We did like the Echo. We would destroy the Echo though.
Yes.
I think that maybe in like 30 years, the Echo might be up our alley. No. We'll see. Okay, I'll let you wrap this up.
Get a 300-quart Instant Pot.
300.
That'd be bigger than our van, John. We could ride in it. Any other questions popping up?
No, I'm just starting to finally feel a little bit more comfortable and less nervous though, and there's no more questions.
Next year, 2023, Revel 2022. All right, we look forward, Deb.
Yeah, awesome. And, we are kind of attached to the 2019, you guys, so there is that. But... What happened?
I just can't see anything.
Okay. Have we been to Barrow, Alaska, and are there roads to get there?
There are no roads to get to Barrow, Alaska. You can go by plane. Cynthia's been there. But
yeah, a lot actually.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to be the principal up in Barrow, Alaska, of school up there for years and years. But there's no roads to get there.
We're moving the monitors around a little bit.
Yeah, here we go, sorry.
That way I can actually see what's being written.
You notice this time I'm more of the technical person. You probably put it in the wrong hands.
We have 3 computer screens, or, well, iPad screens, I guess.
Yes. Normally I'm usually the one doing all the talking, but this time, come on, Ina girl, hello, aloha. How are you? There is an ice road to Barrow? Jim, you're going to have to enlighten me on that one. Is it like an ice road, trucker's road?
Maybe across from Prudhoe?
Huh. I'll have to look that one up.
Is it across from Prudhoe, Jim? So Jim Banks is up at Fairbanks, so he knows better than us. Oh, it used to be one. How difficult is it to have repairs done on the engine or living space? So far we've been able to do pretty much everything ourselves that have needed maintenance.
That's a good question.
The recall item on the power steering hose, we of course had to fix that ourselves way before it was a recall item. We did have issues with that popping off while we were out in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, we were able to get some power steering fluid brought to us, because even after we did the repair, it had still popped off. So if you've done the repair on your power steering hose, we recommend that you still check it ever so often, because it could still pop off eventually.
Hoping there are sufficient pit toilets to accept 100 or more so vans.
Yes, there are.
We will have a location for you to dump your dump.
We planned for all of that, don't worry.
We'll take care of you. Answer, how does love last? A good sense of humor, don't sweat the small stuff, and realize it's all the small stuff.
How is your wool installation working out? Absolutely, 100%.
You're going to get him started, you guys.
Yeah. You know, everybody, this is a huge
let's
debate.
repeat the question.
So the question
You're
was,
going to get him fired up.
how is our wool insulation holding up? If you don't know, we redid our entire van with Havelock wool. 100% we believe in Havelock wool. There's a huge debate in the Revel group that we follow and that we're part of about whether insulation helps at all or not. And we're firm believers, I mean, just being in this environment, that it does make a huge difference. But it also made a huge difference when we were down south in 100-degree heat. So we're fans of it. It has held up perfectly for us. We've had no issues. We opened up the panels, no mold. It's still just like when we put it up there, fresh. So basically the entire van has been redone at this point, and it makes it so that we're completely comfortable in here. We have very little heat loss.
It fills in all the gaps and spaces, and I don't see how anybody can even say it doesn't work, because we had half of it insulated and then half not insulated, and you could feel the difference. So it works. It fills in all those little nooks and crannies, and then it also helps deaden the sound from outside. I mean, we could be screaming in here, nobody can hear us out there.
Yep.
So love our insulation. There's a big debate on it. We love it. How much did it take to do the whole van?
3 bags. I think we went through 3 bags to do everything that we've done on it.
Baba Black Sheep. Hi Gerald, how are you? See, Gerald said, and I forget what this is called. A super chat?
Super chat.
Glad to see you too. Everything is going well. This isn't much, but maybe put towards a cookbook and some treats. Thank you, dear. That is so awesome. Thank you, Gerald. Sending the best from Alberta. Peace and calm. I appreciate that, Gerald. How much insulation? What did you like most in Moab, Utah? Oof.
Oh, Moab. We absolutely loved Moab.
Talon, are you still with us? What did you like about Moab? Come on, we need to go there together. But Moab,
Oh my God.
there's so many places to go. That's what we liked most.
If we would have had a second vehicle with us or a second van with us, we would have gone so much further than what we did, because we were traveling alone, and we didn't want to over risk things, I guess.
Over risk is a good word. We didn't want to push it too far.
And if we would have had another van with us, we would have been totally comfortable. But that's just for the recovery efforts. I don't know, did Talon pop off?
I think he's gone, but that's okay. Yeah, Moab was, what do we love best about, just so many places that you could go. We also loved the hieroglyphics.
Yes. Yeah, the national parks, you know, we don't spend much time in the actual national parks themselves. So is all the backcountry stuff that we really enjoy. How do we source water in the backcountry? So there's two ways that we could do it. We do carry a Lifestraw with us where we can gather water out of any source, and it's 99% effective on destroying bacteria
We carry
or
it with us.
filtering bacteria. And then we also carry water with us. So if we're extracting it and we're using a Lifestraw, then we just drop it into a water jug.
Petroglyphs, thank you.
Petroglyphs, hieroglyphs.
Thanks. Yes, we have the Lifestraw. We've only used it maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I trust it, but I prefer to carry our water.
We carry our drinking water even when we're not in the backcountry. So
Yeah.
our water that's actually in our tanks is for our showers, for our dishes, and for our toilet. That's about it.
Yep. I'm pretty picky about my drinking water. Do you have a pump to pump steam or video of water to your van? Ah, good to know, TP Seeker. I always love your name, by the way. Every time I see your name, TP Seeker, I'm like, I die. Oh, okay. River water.
River water. The Lifestraw is actually, it's just a scoop. So we don't want to put straight river water into the van because then you get a lot of bacteria. So you're looking for the filter.
Put your Berkey water. There's no real place for it. I know. I've seen a couple of people have one, and I think they put it in a closet. No, right
I think underneath the sink.
Yeah, underneath the sink.
Yeah. How's the best way to get to the meetup? Drive or take the ferry? You know, it all depends on the price that you can find. We found the ferry is typically going to cost you at least twice as much as if you drive. So, but who knows with the cost of fuel at that point? It's unknown.
Storm rolling in. Yeah, buffering. It was so good to see you, Ina girl. It's been a while. Forever Untamed. Hi, how are ya? Yes, there's so much to see along the way up here, and I do plan on writing out an itinerary. I have actually quite big plans for creating an itinerary for the travel up here, which is going to go beyond this meetup, actually. So
Yeah, what we would really like to see is if some people start linking up in convoy up here, then and they reach out to us, we'll chime in with some must-dos and must-sees along the way. But I think people are just right now starting to get their feet wet with the idea of convoying together. So once that becomes a reality and people need some advice, we'll step in.
TP Secret's gonna be right back. He went to go get more TP. Was hunting for. Oh, see, I'm not kidding. Okay. Okay. Yes, the milepost is a good guide, and we will talk more about the milepost. And I also feel like we could add a little bit more to that. So.
Yeah, we actually gave. We had a milepost when we did our first trip up, and we actually gave it to some of the people that we traveled with, so that they could take advantage of using it. It's very easy to get lost in the milepost and become overwhelmed. So
yeah,
understanding what's really important and necessary and what's not, there's a big difference when you're talking about a 2,000-page book, something like that. It's huge.
it is
It's
very
overwhelming.
comprehensive, and we're looking at considering putting more into the like behind the scenes stuff into it, I guess you could say, more for the overlander type scenario other than just the milepost. So stay tuned for that as well. That's coming probably around the same time the cookbook will come out.
See, and we are terrible when it comes to planning on road trips.
We don't plan.
We point the van in a direction and we say, hey, we're going here. And then we show up.
Plans never work out. You know, we'll plan it and then it just doesn't work out and then we get disappointed. So
The ferry offers different scenery. If you can muster the cost and time, you might consider it maybe on the drive back. You know, I enjoyed the ferry.
he's talking to the people.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times also. And it's very dependent on your weather too. If you have really good weather, you're going to see a lot. If you have really bad weather, then you're stuck in a cabin the whole time.
Aw, John, it was good to see you. We have plans, by the way, for what you sent us. I'm just taking my time on that. We really appreciated it, by the way. Yes, flexible is the best way, Deborah. You're so right. Like, we do see a lot of people out there who, when they travel, they say this is where we're going to be at this time, and you kind of have to travel that way. We cannot. I cannot. I get super stressed out when we start to have like a play-by-play itinerary, and we tried, but no. No plans. Flexible is better.
Jesse asked when they should start traveling up if they want to. It depends on what you're shooting for. If you're trying to enjoy the entire summer, I would start probably about the same time that we did, late April, early May, and you'll be able to enjoy the entire summer. There is a lot to see and a lot to do, and you got to take advantage of that. Especially when you're spending that much to come up here.
Yes. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little cold. I know it's showing too. I'm like starting to freeze. You guys, I probably look like I'm uncomfortable or nervous. I'm not. I'm like super cold. I want to show you out the back here real quick though. But that was our announcement, you guys, is that we're doing that meetup here this summer, and we're super excited about it and doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. July 8th through July 11th, and then the 12th through the 23rd, we'll be heading up to the Dalton. So I am ready to warm up, and I think I want to go skiing because it's going to get, the sun's going to start to go down here pretty soon. So I'm going to show you here something really pretty. And this is where, I don't know, I thought about doing a live like reel video with you guys today instead of a edited version of what we normally do, and just take you out with us. But there you go.
That's a look straight out the back of the van.
Yeah. Ember, come on. Come on. Go say hi. Come on, good girl.
I can't see her. You gotta take her further away.
You can see her tail. Hey, girl.
There you go.
Hi, Ember. So yeah, we woke her up from her nap, and now she's gonna just want to play. Aww.
We do watch the Iditarod. We went and did a lot of the Ferrandi events, but we are not Actually going to do a video on it this year. We did one last year. All right, everybody. So we wanted to say thank you. We wanted to come in, say hi to you, answer any questions that you had. But we're going to call it a night, I think, and go do some skiing.
Actually, I don't know if you guys can still hear us. I didn't realize it was still over here. I thought he was talking to you. Hi. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we want to go skiing, you guys. The sun's gonna go down here, and I wanna get going. So it was so nice talking to you. And I know we didn't do a video today, but we just wanted to say hi to everybody. Ember, say, come on, let's. Yeah, this is literally what she does, you guys, and we live by her rules.
That's how you keep your marriage happy.
That's how you keep your dog happy. Okay, let's say goodbye. Bye, Jim. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm glad we did this. We normally don't really like to do stuff like this because, I don't know, we get a little uncomfortable, but you guys made it so much fun for us. So we really appreciate you.
So thank you for all of your support. We appreciate you watching our channel, for being part of our adventures, and for talking to us in the comments of the videos, because it really brightens up our day and lets us know that you're seeing our messages. So
Yeah.
especially when you find the Easter eggs that we hide in our videos.
Have you guys been finding those Easter eggs? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me not bring up anything new as we say goodbye, but see ya. Thank you guys.
Stay happy.
Stay healthy.
Stay safe.
We'll see you soon.